Hello everyone, this is Matt Roach from the Washington State Library, and welcome to First Tuesdays. This is a follow-up to the Teen Book Club class that we had earlier. This was the one that was supposed to be there, but I ended up getting sick. Anyway, thank you for your patience, and we'll begin right away. First off, my name is Matt Roach. I'm the Online Resources Consultant at the Washington State Library. You may be thinking, okay, you're Online Resources Consultant. What do you know about teen book clubs? Well, before I did this, I was a teen librarian at the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Library for about 5 years and conducted many a different teen book club there. And when they were asking people to do presentations for First Tuesdays, I was like, ooh, I know about teen book clubs. Sure, I'll do one. So that's how this started, and thank you for coming, and hopefully this will be an enlightening presentation. First off, getting started with a teen book club, you're going to want to know a few things. Why do you want to start a book club? Personally, look at what you as a librarian are doing, and know, do you have the time to do a book club? Also, is there a need for one in your community? Do other teens have book clubs that meet at your library? If not, there might necessarily be a need for them. Sometimes teens come by and like, hey, why isn't there a book club? Just get feedback from your community to find out. There's no reason to start a book club if there's no need for one, or need from one in your community. Thirdly, are there any community partners that you could possibly work with? With teen services, there's either some after-school community organizations. Schools a lot of times work with libraries to start book clubs. One book club in particular I worked with in Charlotte was a joint effort between the library and the middle schools, and it was promoted mostly to males. Males in around 6th to 8th grade, middle school males that were kind of on the cusp. They were determined by the teachers, and that they would felt like they were not participating in class or paying as much attention to reading as the teachers knew that they could. And so it was a great partnership working with the schools, because they were able to give us some insight into potential participants that, as a librarian, we would not have had. Secondly, once you get your book club started, either through advertising at your library, working with partners, advertising at local schools, sometimes it just takes knowing a few teens, like your teen volunteers, and talking to them and saying, hey, do you know some kids who might want to start a book club? You're a teen librarian and you've got some ins into working with teenagers, and it's a good place to start. Once you have your teen book club, you have your participants. It's first important to determine who your know who your participants are. I usually suggest doing some sort of quick oral survey, talking to the kids. Find out, what was the last good book they read. That gives you some insight as to what their reading preferences are. Are they more of action? Are they more romance, sci-fi? Get an idea of what type of books they like. But it's also important to know why they like what they like about it. This goes back to Nancy Pearl and her gateways. Just because someone likes a sci-fi doesn't mean, or likes a particular sci-fi book, does not mean they're going to like all sci-fi books. They may enjoy medieval settings, so therefore they might also enjoy historical romance, or they might enjoy there's certain types of fantasy that they like. Maybe they just like urban fantasy, and high fantasy they couldn't care less about. So it's very important to know what they liked about it. That's almost as important as knowing what books they like. Also, go media. Find out what kind of movies or video games they like if they play, or board games. Even go into comic books and graphic novels, any kind of media that they might consume, even websites that they like to visit. That way you can really get an idea of what everyone in your book club likes to read. And also knowing, again, what drew them to those types of media. So now, once you've got an idea of what everyone likes, use your amazing library and reader's advisory skills to start, creating a list of books. I mean, it's like it says here, choice is great, but too much choice will drive you insane. So it's very important to have a long list of books, but make sure that they're books that A, your library owns and has multiple copies of, and B, books that sort of fit into the reading styles of your participants. A lot of times I like to start out with picks that might be comfortable. If you have quite a few people who are interested in fantasy or sci-fi, you start out with a few of those books to get them acclimated to a book club setting. And then you can go from there and maybe spread or branch out into other genres or authors, like a historical fantasy or a historical romance or a Western even. If do young adult Westerns exist? There's got to be a few. Also, it's really great if you can work with your book club to make a schedule of your future books. This is important because a lot of the kids obviously don't have the money to buy the books, and so the library is their only option to obtain those books. And this way, it gives them an opportunity, especially for some of the more popular books, to put them on hold. You're not going to be able to get 10 to 15 copies at one time, and this gives you the opportunity, or gives your teams the opportunity to look ahead and prepare. Or you can prepare for them. Go ahead and put 8 copies of a book on hold for your book club. You'll know they'll be checked out. So. Secondly, it's really important to know what your role will be as a librarian in this book club. Will you be just the organizer, someone who starts the book club up and then just sort of lets it go to the teens so that they can run it themselves? Will you do a little bit more, such as getting the room, getting a place for them to meet, setting up if they're going to watch a movie or have snacks? You're going to be doing that kind of thing. It's really important to know what, and that you can usually tell that by talking to your book club, seeing if there's someone who in there that is going to be a born leader, type of person who wants to organize it. Sometimes there's not, and you have to be more involved in your book club, setting things up, getting movies or snacks together, having questions prepared. Do you want to be a moderator? Do you want to have be there to instigate communication about each book? But, as it says, most importantly, you need to know when to give those things away. If you feel that someone is good at any of those, whether it be a moderator, a facilitator, definitely have your teens do those, because the most important part about a teen book club is having teens run it. With most programming, teen-led programs work the best, in my opinion. So it's, as a librarian, it can be tough to give up certain things. I really like, getting the snacks, setting everything up, picking the books, helping pick the books, or compiling questions for the book club. But again, the book club it's about the teens, and having the teens run it is the best thing that I guess it's the best sign that you're doing a good job. You need to engage the book club if you can. Many books have different media associated with them. Obviously, an easy choice is if there's a movie and you have rights to show that movie, show it. Have a screening, and the cool thing about that is you can use this as a program for your entire, not just your book club, but for the entire library. So all teens can come and watch the movie. And then afterwards, your book club can meet and discuss the movie and the differences between the movie and the book, and I didn't like this part about the movie, and but that way it sort of, you've got two programs in one there. Also games. A lot of times with certain books, they're either board games or video games, or even like word games or anything. You can look on the internet and find other things. But play those. It really gives the teens an insight as to how media is how media can spread from one type to another. Music, again, another great type of media. You want to, if there's sometimes artists write songs about books. Sometimes obviously there are music soundtracks from movies that are created from the books. But I think music is one that a lot of people overlook when they think about book clubs. But art inspires art, and I think it's a great way to link, again, a type of media that teens might not expect can be inspired by just a simple book. Also, it's really cool to be able to create things based off your books. One of the more popular ways to advertise for books is creating book trailers. Simple videos that sort of either reenact a certain scene or tell a synopsis in a really quick, through having some of your book club members take on different roles. You can have one that maybe works with the costumes, and one who works with who does all the editing, and one who's the cinematographer, and one who works on writing, either working on one scene or taking it to a synopsis. You're really getting your teens engaged into the book. This also might help some that are having a difficulty reading, getting into the book, get a new appreciation, and they might actually want to finish the book. Also, creating other types of art, drawings, collages. Like I said before, art is many times inspired by other pieces of art, and it gives your teens an important activity to do, because a book club just doesn't have to be just a book club. Reading a book, sitting around and talking about it, that's great, but being able to engage your teens, you're going to get a better response from the book, and you're going to get more involved book club, and you're going to be able to engage teens that might not normally come to a book club, especially when you're doing things like watching the movie or playing a game, and you invite more teens that are just in the book club. You can then say, oh, they see that the book club is more than just reading and talking, and that there are more to books than just reading them, that they have lives of their own. And engaging your own book club can then grab other people, other teens, into the book club. So it's a great way of promoting and prolonging your book club, because book clubs are always needing new members. Other members leave, in this case graduate, or transfer schools, or move. So book clubs are always in need for new members. So this way you're able to actively promote by engaging not just your book club members, but other teens in your community. This is one part where a librarian can really get to use their librarian skills. This is one of my favorite ideas for working with book clubs, is creating bibliographies and webographies. Be able to go onto the internet and find fan fiction. Have a list of good fan fiction sites that your book club can go to. It's a great fan fiction is a great Kickstarter for talking about books, or even having the kids write their own fan fiction if they want to, and having a couple kids write some fan fiction and then sharing it with some of the other people in the book club. Summaries. Sometimes with teens, they can't really get into the book, or they're not understanding everything about the book, and summaries help with that. A lot of times you want kids to reading the book is fine, but if a teen doesn't read the book, there's no reason why he should be excluded from the book club. So adding summaries to your bibliographies offer a way to include those who might not have been able to finish the book, or might have gotten to a sticking point and they're just not, or they didn't grasp something that was integral to the book. That happens more frequently than not. Again, criticism. Having teens the opportunity to read what other people thought. This gives them an early insight into getting a deeper meaning behind books. Just that books are more than just the story at hand. That there's a lot of underlying meaning that comes with them, and it also gives them there's a sense of validation there, because they can look and see what other people have thought and be like, oh, I thought that same way as they did. Or it'll open eyes. They can be like, oh, I never thought about that, or I didn't realize that this was actually talking about this, and it can give them a new appreciation for books that they might not have they might not have had earlier. And again, book trailers. Look for book trailers on YouTube or Vimeo. Have them compiled. It's great to have this either like as a page on your website, or you even do it as a Delicious page. Delicious is still around, and it's a great social bookmarking tool. I love to, whenever I do a training, I like to compile all my links into one page, and then I can send everybody to those links, and they have access to them really easily. They don't have to go, oh, look for this in Google, or look for this. It's all in one centralized, organized place. Lastly, create a group page for discussion. I think this is, in my opinion, one of the most important parts. Just because a book club isn't meeting does not mean that it doesn't have, there's not an opportunity to discuss things. Whether it be some sort of social network, a lot of times you can create fan pages on Facebook, or topics on various forums. Sometimes it's really important to be able to allow for both asynchronous and synchronous discussion. And what that means is asynchronous basically means someone posts something. Hey, what did you think about this part of the book? Or, oh, this part really got me this way. And then later on, someone else can say, oh no, I did not like that character at all. Blah blah, and that gives them an opportunity. Especially if kids are not able to meet at the prescribed book club time, that they're able to still experience the social aspects of having a book club. That and it's great because it keeps a log of everything. It's like having minutes for a book club, but not having to type them out. This way, they can see, oh man, what was I thinking about this book when I first, started reading it? It's like totally was wrong, or oh, I had this complete insight on a book, at the beginning pages, and it was right. And they're able to, and they can also see how they progressed, from their first book to like their, third book, and see how their understanding of literature and and finding and understanding more about the book than is there. They're able to see their progression, so to speak. And I want to thank you all for participating in this First Tuesday's event. If you have any questions or want to ask me about anything in particular, please feel free to give me an email, shout out, or my email is down at the bottom. I thank you very much for your time, and have a great day.